Appaji is the Executive Director, Pharmaceutical Exports Promotion Council, Hyderabad. He is a doctorate in pharmacy, over 30 years experience in various capacities in the state and central governments, all relating to pharma sector. He has currently on deputation from National Pharmaceutical Pricing Authority to Pharmaceutical Export Promotion Council as an Executive Director. As an Executive Director, he is involved with all activities relating to promotion of export of pharmaceuticals. Several trade delegations are organized to various countries and conferences and seminars are organized in India involving participation of various delegates from drug regulatory authorities, manufacturers, importers, etc. He has actively participated in the formulation of development of drug policies of Government of India. As an officer in the Drug Controller Organization, Andhra Pradesh, he has gained experience on drug regulatory matters. He has developed expertise in costing and technical examination of data for fixation of prices of bulk drugs and formulations. He is considered as an expert in price control matters of Government of India. He has developed well-established procedures for proper monitoring of prices of essential drugs and life-saving drugs at the government level, and he is also well connected with the state and central drug control organizations and has been constantly in touch with all the drug controllers' pricing matters. He has to his name many publications. He has published a research paper in the Indian Journal of Pharmacy, presented 3 research papers in Indian Pharmaceutical Congress. He is a columnist. Dr. Appaji's notes on Indian pharma developments in a reputed Indian pharma portal, www.pharmabiz.com. And his achievements record, he has presented a paper on legislative regulatory framework, participated in the course organized at the Collaborating Center of WHO at Oslo on ATC and DDS in June 2002, and made a presentation in WHO Geneva on drug pricing in India in June 2002. He is also a fellow of WHO in 1988, visited US FDA and Canada on drug regulatory matters, member secretary of Norms Committee constituted by the Government of India, and he has toured extensively over the globe towards the promotion of pharmaceutical exports from India. We welcome you, sir, and I ask you to please deliver your talk.
Respected Chairman, dignitaries on the dais, and dignitaries occupying the seats. I am very much thankful to organizers for giving this opportunity to me. In fact, we also feel bad that as an agency concerned with exports of pharmaceuticals, where herbals and Ayurveda are also under us, an important event like this concerning global Ayurveda conference, we should have participated in a better way, and we had earlier correspondence with Dr. Fode, but unfortunately because of our other approved programs by Government of India, we were crowded with activities from our council, and we could not really make a better presence here. But I would like to avail this opportunity of bringing out to the august audience here the potential for Ayurvedic products, herbal products internationally, and the scope for India and Indian industry and Indian institutes, how we can well utilize this opportunity, and the various incentives Government of India is giving. Some of the members who are already exporters and registered with us, they are well aware of these things about the incentives. But I would like to also bring out briefly what are all the incentives available from Government of India, not only from Department of Ayush, not only from Medicinal Plant Board, but there is another thing that is from Commerce Ministry. The councils are also encouraging exports by giving lot many incentives. I would like to come to the point that Ayurveda being 5,000 years old makes us proud. We feel extremely proud to remember this. And also in the forenoon session, we heard that how Ayurveda is being accepted and internationally in Europe and Southeast Asian region, how the countries are favoring this and how several countries have accepted Ayurveda under Dr. Raju's contribution, Maharshi Foundation, also we heard. Another thing I would like to bring, and which August audience here are not aware, is not only these regions, particularly CIS region, Russia, Ukraine, Belarus, other countries, Kazakhstan, they are also accepting, and there has been a lot of demand from these countries. Very recently we were at Paris, attending into CPHI conference. Several exporters from India who are herbal based, particularly turmeric derivatives and other vitamin P and other bioactives which they are manufacturing, they were there in the India pavilion. And there was actually a crowd, real crowd, which we have witnessed to these stalls. Recently, 10 days back, we were there at Apteka 2006 in Moscow. That is the biggest health event that takes place. And we were there with 10-15 Indian pharmaceutical companies, but there were only 2 herbals, that is Ayush Shakti and also Ban Labs. And the visitor, 80% of the visitors, they have come in to our Pharmaxil pavilion were with these 2 companies. Extremely good demand, inquiries, and even the Russians, not the NRIs even, Russians who are there, they are fond of Ayurveda. They came, they had special interview with me, and they were expressing that we need your government help, we need pharmaceutical council help in product registrations and also in having Ayurvedic Vaidyas, also having Panchakarma practicing there. They were fully aware and they were expressing their problems. I would like to take and utilize this opportunity of my interaction here, and also those who are already with us in the Pharma Export Promotion Council to take full note of these events and take help of the government assistance that is available. The best help and the best thing that the industry, particularly I am focused for promoting internal pharma or I am herbal Ayurveda business in the international markets. What our industry and institutions should really make note is that real change that has been brought by Government of India effective from 1st January 2005, that is product patent regime. That product patent regime now enables Indian scientists to go for product patents and explore the international opportunities. When, as Sajwanji has said that 8,000, he was mentioning about 7,000 to 8,000 medicinal plants are there and already identified with medicinal uses. What is really required, if we have to use our brains and grab the global opportunities, is only to go for backward pharmacology. Only let us go for backward pharmacology, develop the chemistry, biology, and have the documentation. Entire world is ours. We need not worry about what China has done, how China has successful in registering their traditional medicines and others. That should become part of the past, because we are aware that we have got strong talent. We are very strong in chemistry. We have got excellent networking. I will show in my slides. And we have also have an excellent documentation skills, which Chinese are not having. And that is how our counterpart in pharmaceutical industry, where we have got Western medicine, allopathy industry, that is flourishing in India with 23,000 crore exports, whereas at Ayurveda or herbals, we are almost at 500 crores. And if Ayurveda or these herbals, we try to utilize the benefits, go for strong chemistry, go for reverse pharmacology, develop these documentations, which is not the expertise and wisdom of Chinese. We can go for product registrations. This 23,000 crores can easily become in next 10 years 230, 10 times bigger than what we are today. I would like to briefly mention, I want to only I am trying to show it as for international business, for people who are in business, who are in herbal business, Ayurvedic business, how the counterparts pharma industry is doing, what are we, where are the products going, and what are all the requirements which we can do for improving ourselves. I would be brief and will be going taking the slides fast. Here I am trying to show that, as we said, internationally recognized, the pharma industry is well respected, and wherever we are going with delegations, people are coming. The large number of people are participating in buyer-seller meetings, only because India is now treated with respect about quality medicine, production of quality medicines at most competitive prices. Gone are those days where Indian schedules, Indian deliveries, Indian product qualities were suspense, and there was doubts among the business people. But today, everything has gone. They are only looking for Indian suppliers. What are the reasons? We have a well-developed manufacturing base, we have cost competitiveness, we have excellent R&D lab network, highly trained pool of scientists, which will help in Ayurveda, also in herbal industry also, world-class quality standards, marketing and distribution network, strong processing development skills. That's what I was telling, even reverse pharmacology like, potential ground for clinical trials. This we should utilize in herbals, in Ayurvedics also, for conducting clinical trials and developing documentation, fast-growing healthcare, rich biodiversity, and biotechnology industry also. Likewise, we are emerging as a big competitor, and also we have shifted our business things, topped from drug filings. We must be very happy, a proud thing to know in the pharma sector. Indian industry is filing the largest DMFs in the US FDA as compared to any other country other than US. That's the thing which made India proud in pharma sector. And it's a preferred destination for several multinational companies to come and have the research centers here, clinical trials here, fast-growing clinical research activity, largest number of US FDAs, and current GMP requirements. Even the Schedule M, I would also request the authorities in Ayush that the Schedule M, which they have made for allopathic drugs, also likewise some little improved schedule should come, so that the standards and facilities will improve. Even otherwise, what our friends in Ayurvedic industry, friends in herbal industry should take notice that our counterpart brothers in pharma, in allopathic drugs, they have developed excellent standards, and let us carry. And carrying them, knowing that will not be a big difficulty for Indian industry. I am trying to touch some figures. And as a pharma global industry, pharmaceutical exports are growing, which includes Ayurveda herbal exports. And internationally, it is growing at 20% with about $240 billion market in exports overall. And India, last year, we have contributed about $3.81 billion exports, and we stand in 4th position internationally. Overall, in drugs and pharma, if we look into our Indian position, commodity-wise, drugs and pharmaceuticals command 4th position and contribute to about 5% to Indian exports overall. And if we go for breakup of what is happening, if you see the allopathic formulations, we have got about 9,000 with 52% contribution of total exports from pharma. And in bulk drugs, we have got an excellent presence again, 48%. And crude drugs, we have got 306 crores contributing to about 2% at the moment. This is our export performance. The latest performance is 21,500 crores is the latest pharmaceutical exports from India. We are having 4th position as a commodity, and we are contributing 4.74%, as I said. We have got excellent achievements. FDA, we have got about 75 more are that. And as in the morning, Australia, TGA is known to be the toughest and the best internationally. Though we have full respect for US FDA, TGA is definitely known as the best organization in giving approvals. And morning, it was heartening to note that Ayurveda, they have agreed, and Ayurveda has been agreed practice. And if TGA Australia has developed some guidelines, they can be extended to other countries internationally. And in Pharmexil, we will take note of it. We will also take it to the notice of Ayush and Commerce Ministry. We will try to see that the standards approved by TGA in Australia become acceptable to other countries. And also South Africa, And these are EDQM, Mogera. These are the toughest sophisticated FDAs where our Indian industry is taking approvals almost on daily basis. Someday it is Ranbaxy, other day it is Dr. Reddy's, other day it is Aurobindo. Likewise, top 5 export countries, we are exporting to USA, Germany, Russia, UK, and China. In case of herbals, where are we? What is the position herbals globally? We try to take it from ITC, and that shows the top exporters countries. Herbal exporters are China, Germany, USA, Hong Kong, France, etc. Where there are about 79 countries totally, and in exports of herbals, India stands 6th position with about 6% contribution. And if we take licorice and ginseng also into account, the total exports are coming to about 5,750 crores in international market. Importers-wise, USA, Germany, Japan, France, they are the things, and that clearly shows Japan is not an exporter, but Japan is a net importer. France also is there, and India occupies the 20th position in imports of herbals, and whereas for 6th position in the export of herbals. Crude drugs, these are the crude drugs which are exported in large quantities, and the close examination of the data shows that though we have been talking that several drugs are exported and exports are growing, but unfortunately the fact is the maximum growth or maximum contribution is from psyllium husk and psyllium preparations, and others are not that big. The second highest, largest is senna in value terms. Now, where are the medicinal plants and their value-added products? They are internationally, they are going in different names as discussed in the morning. Some places they are medicinal plants and crude drugs are going. Herbal extracts are going, mostly from India. Is at the extract stage, and herbal medicines, Ayurvedic medicines, and most of the countries they are taking them as nutraceuticals, which Ayurvedic and herbal industry should take note of, make their preparations to catch the international markets, whatever way they want, whatever way they call. In my view, I must be excused that Ayurvedic pundits may feel bad, but for a businessman, if we have to grab the international opportunities, we have the scientific backup, we have the data. Let us try to come up and give whatever name they want, whatever is required. Apart from spread of Ayurveda, doctors, practitioners, and recognition of Ayurveda, Department of Ayush should take up, and we should try to export Ayurvedic medicines, no doubt. But at the same time, the knowledge we gained in this sector should be utilized to export them as dietary supplements, nutraceuticals, health foods, functional foods, natural foods, whatever they call. Let the country call anything. You let us utilize our expertise and export there and grab the international markets. These are herbal medicines on regulatory status. We try to compile some data, and many countries, as in the case of Western medicines, the markets are not highly regulated. We have the data, and it is available on our website. Many of the members are aware that our website is having very good content, and we have got about 8,000 to 10,000 hits. 8,000 to 10,000 hits a day on our Pharmaxyli website, with about 60 countries daily looking into this, and we are placing a lot of information. Even under herbal heads and herbal products, we have given information, and I would request the members to kindly take note of this and utilize the content provided on our website. Here it shows that regulatory countries and non-regulatory region-wise, several countries in different regions are still non-regulatory, and these can be taken note of, and we can try to go for herbal exports by taking advantage of the present position. Some of the selected natural ingredients, aloe vera is the best, American ginseng and others, these are the one which as per US market, these are the products which are mostly consumed and in demand. Major crude drugs imported by Western Europe, USA and Japan, that gives some data. And export of traditional medicines, if we come to Ayurveda and others from India, we try to analyze this. Totally it is 402 crores in 2004-05. Total Ayurveda traditional medicine exports and Ayurvedic system, they are about 400 crores. Unfortunately, this figure has come down in 2005-2006 because of another problem of that heavy metal contents. There were problems in Europe, Canada and Australia, Singapore, objecting to heavy metal limits. Department of Ayush came out with a notification telling that all the exported products will bear the label saying that heavy metal contents within permissible limits. In fact, Pharmexcil has interacted with Ayush, Department of Ayush, and we try to help the members by clarifying the position, and also where the labels are already printed and manufacturers, exporters had some problem. We said that if the certificate of analysis is enclosed to the port office without the label containing that specific labeling like heavy metals within limits, not necessary, only enclosure of a certificate showing that the limit test has passed would be sufficient at the moment. And here it is 400 crores Ayurveda and other systems have negligible contribution. Export of traditional medicines, as I was telling, the figures also speak accordingly. It is a special focus herbal delegation, and our Indian embassies have helped us. They identify the buyers there, and the delegation is going very well currently. And this is medicines, and here these are the constraints why we are not able to do it. And it is a little about our Pharmexcil, what we are doing. We are only 2 years old, and we cover several products, including herbals, Ayurvedics, and others. And we cover 4 areas in the world, like Focus CAS, Focus Africa, Focus Asian, and Focus LAC, where we give special benefits to the exporters who go with us. Here I am giving you data. There are about 100 exporters from Maharashtra, Gujarat 56, New Delhi, Tamil Nadu, Andhra. Totally there are about 310 herbal Ayurvedic exporters registered with us. And mostly every exporter is required to be registered with Pharmexcil. We give assistance, we arrange buyer-seller meetings, we give 80,000 rupees for those who are participating in foreign exhibitions. We give almost airfare free. We take the members whose export turnover is not more than 15 crores. We almost give 1,50,000 rupees as maximum amount towards assistance in the delegation participation. Some of these things we are also, some people were telling that product registration costs are there, and yes, in Russia and other countries people spend lakhs of rupees for that, but Pharmexcil gives 50% of the registration cost as reimbursement up to a maximum of 25 lakhs per year. Kindly note that we have been trying to bring it to the notice of all manufacturer exporters, and but still the benefit is not being utilized totally. We give 25 lakhs, maximum of 25 lakhs as 50% of product registration charge incurred anywhere in the world and by any company, irrespective of the export turnover of the company. Thank you very much.